Welcome to I Ching Mashup with Michelle and Lisa. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Lisa. Together, we explore the ancient wisdom of the I Ching and mash it up with real modern life, our questions, our challenges, and our breakthroughs.
Take a breath, get curious, and let's see what the hexagrams have to say today.
Hi, everybody. Welcome into I Ching Mashup with Michelle and Lisa. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Michelle. Welcome in, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
We're ready for some fun because we've been feeling like we've been doing some serious work, which I think was necessary
I do too.
because we've been on a trail, like picking up on some things, and
We just can't take ourselves this serious all the
yeah, we
time.
can't. I think we handle the not fun stuff with levity, which makes it feel smaller. But
Right.
it's Leo season and it's sassy. We're not Leo, but it's fun for us.
I have a son-in-law that's a Leo, and he is a perfect Leo. Like he is literally like all the good things of a Leo. Yeah.
Oh, I love
He's
that.
just outgoing and fun and loves, he always looks nice and he smells good and his energy is just through the roof all the time.
Just Leos, I always think of like someone coming in like jazz hands or shaking
Yes.
maracas or
Yes.
something
Like,
like,
I'm
hey,
here. Let's
everybody,
get started.
I'm here. Popping
That's that's
bottles.
kind of how he is.
Yes. Whereas like Cancer, I love my Cancer friends, our friend Rachel's Cancer. And I just, that's very emotional and heavy and,
Yeah.
the yin. So now
Yeah.
we can be all fiery
Yeah.
again.
Yes. I love it.
And I love
And
her question.
I do too, because usually when things get fiery, when energy is moving around quite a bit, that's when opportunities seem to really start coming around and
Yeah.
making their appearance. So, yeah, do you want to read our question that we made up for
Yes,
around
I will give
this?
it a try while I'm shuffling, and you can fine tune it while I'm speaking.
Okay.
So, we're asking at the I Ching today to please tell us how we can be sure that we see and that we're actually aware of the opportunities coming into our existence. And what is the best way to maximize these opportunities while discerning which ones are in alignment with our personal past and our higher selves?
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. Mine are sticky today.
Mine are too.
I'm using my Paul O'Brien deck.
I'm using my Dow Oracle. I'm going to buy another deck
Yeah.
just to have, just
Ooh,
to,
I forgot to tell you, someone from the International Feng
oh,
Shui Guild created some sort of deck using the elements, and she's sending us one, and
oh,
she'll be joining us
that would be awesome.
at some point. Yeah, I forgot that. I don't even remember the conversation. It must have been months ago. And she's like, "Hey, yeah, I remember your comment that you were interested in these decks. I would love to send it to you. I'll put us in a group email, but that's exciting."
That is exciting. And congratulations to her.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but congratulations for getting a deck done because that's got to
Yeah,
be a lot of work.
I know.
I just can't drop any cards.
I got one and
Do we need to throw coin? Oh, there's one.
okay, I got the other one, came out finally. The first one was making me laugh because it's, doomsday. And
What is
that's
yours? What's
the
your first
first
one?
one, because I said, how can we be sure that we're actually aware of our opportunities coming into our existence? Boom, deliverance.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Didn't
Sorry, I
we
had
get
to pick up some
didn't we
cards.
get that one recently? Deliverance.
I think so, but I think
It
I
looks
got it.
like yeah, I think you did. It looks like a lightning strike. We were talking about storms and trees befalling, and it's thunder above and water below. And then,
Hmm.
what is the best way to maximize these opportunities while discerning which ones are in alignment with our personal paths and higher selves? I got centering in truth, 61. So 40
Damn.
shifting
Well,
into 61.
I only have one card. I still can't get another one. I'm being so
Maybe,
sloppy.
maybe the energy is stable and not changing.
Maybe I'm not getting another card out here. My first one is 56, The Wanderer.
Oh, I love that one. We get that one a
Hmm.
lot.
Hmm. And I don't have a second one. Maybe we'll just do one for me.
Yeah, I think it's just one card. I was counting my change
Oh,
lines. There's
nope. See, I keep losing a bunch of them though.
one. So just I have
How
three
many?
change lines. So the Wanderer, when you said the Wanderer, the way that you said it, I forgot there was a song like in the 50s
The
or
one.
60s.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm the
I'm a
Wanderer.
wanderer. Yeah, I'm a wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. I can't drop a card. Like literally.
It's not coming.
No,
I think it
not.
must just be stable energy to 56, right? The
Because I
Wanderer.
keep dropping like cards, but there are multiple cards at one time, not just one.
That is so crazy.
I know. I know. We thought this was going to be quick and easy, and I'm so perfect. I can't even drop a card. I was listening to your other podcast today with Emily,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
guys talk about how perfect you are in that episode. You're
We
joking, of
talked.
course, but you're
Oh,
like, I'm
okay.
perfect. You're like, yeah, I'm perfect too. Yeah, the conscious collaboration. Everybody should also listen to that one too. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Okay, I
that's it
I don't
seems
know what
like a
you
long
want me to
time
do.
ago.
I've never had this happen before. Should I
I
just
think we
span
just
it out
say
in
I think we just say it's
one card?
stable energy, just one card.
Okay, then good, because
Because
I'm
that
going to be
happens
doing
with the
this.
coins. Sometimes there's no change lines. And I was just talking to one of our friends, Deb, about I Ching, and she was asking about, do you always do two cards with the deck to do the change lines? And I said, yes, we've always done it that way. But I guess I might need to phone her and tell her that here's an example of when a second card didn't present.
Yeah,
And you're a
yeah,
good shuffler too.
I know. I never have
I
had that
know.
problem before. But you know what's interesting about the Wanderer is the elements that represent the Wanderer is fire over mountain. And I think that's so interesting because
Yeah.
mountains are stable, grounding, ever present, right? And then the fire, of course, is, that's very young, that's out in the world. That's like Leo season, basically, the
Mhm.
sun, right? So
Yeah.
I find that's an interesting. And like in my book, it's called The Clinging Fire. And it means enlightening, clarifying, communicative, and intelligent. So that answers this would be, I guess, all of the question for me. But how
Yes.
can we be
Yes.
sure that we see and are actually aware of the opportunities coming into our experience? I guess we need to be like the wanderer and be really stable, but also out there exploring. Like be
Well,
really firm in your root and in yourself, but then still be out there. That's how you can discern like what opportunities are for you. If you're like the mountain underneath the fire, then you can discern what's good and what's not good for you.
yes, I think so. I think also like the lightning is like an intuitive hit,
I
like
don't
a
have
lightning
lightning.
strike.
Oh, you mean like fire is like lightning fire?
Yeah. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I have lightning and deliverance. Maybe I got
Mm,
confused on it. I thought you
okay.
said lightning, but maybe you said a
Fire.
light
Yeah,
fire.
fire
Okay.
over mountain. All right. So you want to read your card first?
Yes, deliverance. It's a feeling of clarity and fresh opportunity that follows a thunderstorm. So
That's
there we go.
timely.
How can we be sure that we see and that we're actually aware of the opportunities coming into our existence? So we're coming out of a storm energetically, and for many people, literally, as
Yeah.
Michelle just had crazy storms come through her
Crazy
town.
storms. Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
coming out of any time of extreme tension or obstacles. And the storm has had the effect of clearing the air and suddenly reducing atmospheric tension. And this symbolizes that some kind of deliverance is at hand. So this is our current energy. How can we be sure that we see and that we're actually aware of the opportunities? So whatever it is that we just came out of, whether that just be cancer season or a big change in life, um, I like that. Like the word deliverance reminds me of the movie Deliverance, and that was
I
very,
know, which is a creepy ass
I don't
movie.
like that movie. So when I saw the word, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm the
But the
same
meaning of
way.
this is nice. Even though I'm traumatized by that. In the wake of a storm on land, deliverance can appear in the form of new color and life, which bursts forth in fields and flowers. Following a storm at sea, deliverance could take the form of land itself. And then in human
Mhm.
relations, the rain of forgiveness can wash the landscape, human landscape, clean after a conflicted period of anonymity and error.
Mhm.
Oh, that's personally ringing with me.
Yeah. Our usually our books are pretty different, but mine is
Yeah.
saying almost everything you're saying, like almost exactly. It says when a thunderstorm is passed, there's an uncommon freshness and sense of renewal in the air, but there's also a fair amount of debris on the ground that needs to be cleaned up, which is
Ooh,
true. That's what we're doing today. It
you are
says
clearing
it's
debris.
vital now to identify and clear away any destructive thoughts or actions that might have created a heavy atmosphere. So maybe that's what we need to do so we can see and be aware of
Yeah.
opportunities. Clean up your
Clear
own
the de
mind.
yeah, clear the debris. And also in your homes, like
Yeah, yeah.
around the entry, like are there things that are tripping you up or they're like
Oh
foggy
yeah.
windows?
So we talk the reason why we one of the reasons I guess why we picked this question is because we thought it really went well with the whole first three guas in the bagua. So knowledge, wisdom, and spirituality is one, career opportunity and life journey is another, and then helpful people, friends, and travel is the last one. And all of those things either bring opportunities to you, they present opportunities for you, or you can create opportunities out of like a deeper self knowledge or taking that class to deepen your career. So it's kind of reciprocal energy there of creating and also seeing opportunities. So you can't do that if you're looking through a bunch of garbage and you're tripping in your front door walking in and all
Yeah.
that stuff. You're distracted.
Yeah. I feel like, this being back to school time for me, there was a lot of that at the door, like shoes
Mm-hmm.
everywhere and school supplies
Yeah.
and bags and
Can't believe
yeah.
they're back in already.
Oh my gosh, it went so fast. I was like, I couldn't wait for it. And now that they're gone, I was like, come back.
Like, I can't wait for these kids to get back in school. And now they're in school. You're like, oh, that was too fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was too fast. Well, now you need to see what opportunities you have right now
Right.
in front
I
of you since the
know.
kids are back in
What
school.
am I going to do with this time? I need to find out my Leos.
Yeah,
So it says like attend to residual matters that need taken care of and do so without hesitation. Make a clean sweep of the past and move deliberatively. Forgive, forget, and move on. And that's to see your fortune improve. So, and we were
that's so
saying
true. Like, how
it
can you
is.
see new opportunities when you're hung up on the ones that didn't work out?
Right. Right.
You
You're
can't.
always looking in the past. You got to look
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. It's nice.
So the change line in the inner self, if you want to follow along, or do you want to do your energy for Wanderer? I only have three change lines. Do you want to do the Wanderer first?
Sure. I don't care.
I do like that one. We'll come back to the change lines and
Okay.
bring it all together, bring it home.
So 56, the Wanderer. Hexagram 56, I should say. Fire
Mhm.
over mountain. It says traveling means changes, and changes mean vulnerability. And when breaking new ground, no matter how prepared you may be, sometimes you won't have a clue where you are or what is happening. Life on the road brings up all kinds of challenges you would never have to face in the safety of familiar surroundings. And unfamiliarity is threatening to the personality that needs to know where it stands. So maybe if you're seeing an opportunity that is uncomfortable for you, you should really look at it closer because
Mhm.
change and unfamiliarity brings growth too. But when we feel lost or out of place, we sometimes overcompensate to create an impression of keeping it all together, often with the unfortunate result of appearing downright foolish. That's true. I've done that before. Coping with unfamiliarity increases the need to be alert Assume nothing and take care of yourself. Respect local customs. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. And whatever may have worked at home does not necessarily hold up elsewhere. Be ready and willing to ask questions, listen attentively, be courteous, and stay flexible. No one appreciates being judged as inferior, and once it happens, it creates wounds. The unhappy result of this kind of insensitivity can be that support once given is quickly withdrawn, and be wary of any temptation to condemn anyone or anything because it is different from what you know. Again, opportunities might not be what you're used to seeing. So we have to like be happy, be fine with being uncomfortable. We have
Mhm.
to embrace being uncomfortable. The childish habit is, wait a minute here, whether judgments are spoken or formed only in thought, to indulge in them will create problems sooner or later. And this childish habit is a byproduct of insecurity. Ugh, that's hitting me right in my heart right now, which puts the unfamiliar down in order to feel superior. It seldom has anything to do with anyone but ourselves. And you never know when you may need help from the very person you've condemned. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. It says sometimes life simply defies the best laid plans. Under such circumstances, all you can do is be as sensitive and as conscious as possible in the choices that you make. And if you're the new person in town, you may become the object of curiosity and gossip, but even if that's uncomfortable, don't put on airs to be other than who you are. Avoid challenging the established order, but if your space is transgressed, speak up about it. Life is a journey, and in that sense, we are all wanderers. We grow as we go, and it makes little difference whether that going was far or near.
Hmm.
Finally, it is our attitude toward each step taken, not the number of miles racked up, that determines the quality of our existential reality. That's pretty deep. Seasoned
Mhm.
travelers know how to adapt and keep their needs to a minimum. And it's wise to remember when you find yourself a stranger in a strange land that less is more. Keep your lifestyle uncomplicated. I just really feel like this is encouraging you to look outside of the box for what you think might be in, what you would where you would normally look for your opportunities.
Yeah,
Don't you think? Like,
I think so. That and like it said several times, clarity. Um, I think what you're saying is like think outside the box because like you're saying we're expecting things to show up in a certain way. So they show
mm-hmm.
up in a different way and we're like, "Oh man, it didn't happen," or "I'm not having any
Yeah.
opportunities."
And if you're expecting it to show up in a certain way and it shows up in a different way, you won't even see it. That's why we put in the question and be aware of the opportunities,
Mhm.
right? You might see something come in and go, well, that's not for me. Well, you weren't
Yeah,
aware that it was for you because you
right,
were too busy judging it before it even came into your life.
right. You just didn't even engage with it.
Right. You're like,
You're
oh,
so,
that's not for me.
yeah, I'm too busy. I can't deal with that.
Be
Who is this?
comfortable being uncomfortable,
Hmm.
basically.
Yes. I know we want to do is be comfortable to feel safe and um but yeah,
And
nothing growth
have our
doesn't come from
plan.
that.
Yeah, have our
Yeah.
plan. Everything has to go according to our plan. And
Right.
that's why I'm such a, that's why driving is my spiritual downfall. Everybody gets in the way of my plan for where I want to go and how I want to get there and what I like.
Oh, there's a t-shirt in there again or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mug.
Driving is truly my spiritual downfall. I really need to work on that a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of us do.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of that's hitting home for me and I know this is going to mean a lot to me throughout the course of the day and the next couple of days thinking about this. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think sometimes we strangle an opportunity by trying to hold it in a that so that it feels safer for us.
Yeah, a
Like I
particular
must
way.
over plan it. I mean, and you're building a house again right now and doing projects, and it makes me think of house projects
Hmm.
where you like over I do. You try to over plan for things that really a lot of it is an art or like the best things come from the actual construction of
allowing.
something,
Yeah.
allowing. Yeah.
Yeah. The best things come from the allowance of letting the things happen instead
Right.
of trying to control them before they're even out of the gate.
Right. Holding
Yeah.
it so tight. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's a good one. I love the Wanderer. And that
Hmm.
was a different, yeah, that was a different way to look at it in this reading.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, do your change lines now because I just have the
Okay.
one card.
I was speechless. Okay, 40 and it's change line. So I have change line in one. Few words are needed. Well, good, because I had a loss of words. That was crazy.
That's perfect.
Few words are needed. The end.
Bye.
Um, the recent obstacles are being overcome. Now there is peace, so just recuperate and relax. This is a good time to simply be still.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it was going to come out. Wait, what line is this? The bottom
This
line?
is line one, the bottom one. Mhm.
Okay.
Isn't that funny? You were like, it's going to tell us to be still.
Yeah, that was in our pre-chat. I was like, why are we asking this question? But wow.
Oh, this is just, cracking jokes at us at this point.
It
That's
really
funny.
is.
It's funny. I had a loss for words and it says few words are needed. Like, come on, it's having a conversation here. And then let's hop on up to line four. In periods of stagnation, relationships may be formed on the basis of convenience. Ooh.
Mhm.
Since there is little challenge during such time, not much is demanded of friends and associates. But when important action is required, only the able and trustworthy can be counted on to perform well. Free yourself from the entanglements of random relationships and low value. Good fortune comes from intentionally associating with people of talent and integrity. In times of great opportunity or crisis, it is better to have a weak person as an enemy than as an ally.
True that.
Gave me the hiccups because we were just talking about the the top three. I mean the bottom three guas.
Yeah,
Helpful people,
friends.
wisdom
Yeah,
and
and
knowledge.
friends. That
Yeah,
really
life
does
journey.
apply exactly to that. As you know, when you think about it, when you're talking about having a weak person as
As
an
an enemy.
as an adversary, or in times of stagnation, you have like weak friends. Basically, is what it was
Right.
saying. Um,
Ooh,
that's not how you want to see your opportunities.
right.
In fact, you are in a time of stagnation and you're with a weak friend, it's really going to affect you probably even worse than your weak friend
Yeah.
if you, yeah, if you're not aware of your opportunities coming in. But
hmm Well, I think too, people like us and maybe many of our friends listening are like we said, what is the saying that you always say, Captain Save-A-Ho?
no, I'm super saber ho.
Super save. I'm captain.
Yeah, you're the captain. I'm super.
I'm, yes, okay, you're the super, I'm the captain, but it's just
Yeah.
like the fixer, and
Yes.
like trying to get to the destination and you're also carrying somebody's full body weight
Yes.
around.
Yeah, that is definitely a super saber ho. It's one of my favorite tarot readers who does that. Her name is
I
Green
like her.
Eyes.
I
Yeah,
like her too.
she's
Yeah,
funny.
instead, you should be like, what are those that TV show we used to watch like in the 70s where they're like holding hands and skipping the two ladies?
Oh, it's Laverne and Shirley.
Yes, Laverne and Shirley. When they're
Jamil,
like,
Shemazel, us
yes,
Incorporated.
that's what I was thinking.
We're gonna do it. Yeah, that one.
That's exactly what came into my mind. Like that, you want someone that's gonna,
Yes,
you might blow up a factory in the process of trying to do your
right,
work with your friend, but you're both putting in the energy and you're having
right.
fun and
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Together we can do anything.
Right. I like that attitude. So you don't need someone that you got to throw over your shoulder that's twice your body weight and carrying them to the end.
Right, that's not helpful.
No, that's the opposite of helpful people. So I have a feeling you're right about doing the work in those guas.
Mm-hmm.
Letting go, line 5 says, letting go of negative influences requires inner resolve and a strength of character. Weaker people who have attached themselves to stronger ones are not easily shaken off. The only
Okay,
way to,
so is the message that if you're hanging out with some weak people, you're not going to see your opportunities, or they might not even come your way.
I think it's saying, well, because yes. So the nuanced lines of it is to make sure that we're actually aware of the opportunities coming into our existence. I think that we wouldn't
Yeah. And
potentially
what I mean by
see them.
weak isn't like necessarily like physically frail or whatever. I just mean
Right.
people that have no drive, people that have no gumption, they have no plans to accomplish anything, or they don't have any, like some people just don't have many desires
I
in
think
life.
it's just like we've been talking about all year, the reciprocity. It's okay to be
Yes.
carried or to carry someone for a while, but here we are in August, at the time that we're recording this, like, is it time to let yourself walk and put someone else down, let them walk also, like empower them to walk,
Mm-hmm.
because it gets to be that codependency.
Yeah.
It says, the only way to free yourself from unwanted or unnecessary associations is to free yourself from them inwardly first. Sooner or later, these associations will get the message and fall away of their own accord. Tolerating unhealthy relationships for too long brings misfortune.
That is so true. Like, oftentimes, if you've identified a situation, relationship, whatever, that isn't in your best interest and isn't bringing you more joy than sadness, like, not
Yeah.
every relationship is perfect, but if you're in one that's just really draining you, like, um, yeah, you also lose your own life force energy. Like, then you lose sight of who you are and what you want to do. And
There's a part of me that
I
feels
lost my
really
train of
good.
thought a little bit,
Yeah, but
but
I'm picking it up, but it's a part of me and maybe in everybody that feels really good with the nurturing.
hmm
And that, like, in the nurturing is reciprocal in a way because you're seeing someone improve and you're like, oh my, this is worth it. And then if it gets to, it shifts gears and it starts to be just draining and taking of your life force. Like,
Oh, I
I'm
know what
nurturing.
I remember
Yeah.
what I was gonna say now. It's when you get to that point mentally, internally, and you don't just like make a snap judgment because you're pissed off one day at the person, right? Like, it takes reflection and maybe some thinking about it and some time to figure it out, depending on, who the relationship is with. But um, yeah, like once you make that decision internally, it is amazing how often people will just kind of find other people to go hang out with.
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah. And you don't really
Yeah.
even have to say or do much. They
They just
just,
go away.
yeah,
Disengage. Yeah.
yeah.
That's very,
Which some people see that as like, especially when you go through kind of like a spiritual awakening.
mhm.
Oftentimes people say I lost most of my friends, but that's probably a good thing. The
Yeah.
ones that are real stay.
Yeah. They'll come back around when they're healed.
Yeah. And the ones that
Um,
are on the same wavelength stay.
I agree. I think it says if you're to tolerate these unhealthy relationships for too long, it's going to bring misfortune. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like look for the red flags. You don't need to like yell at them or tell them that they're lazy or they're not helpful. You don't need to even say anything. Just protect your own energy and replenish.
Mm-hmm.
And then top line change before, you know what? If you can look at 61 in your book, we can do the forward energy together, 61.
Okay.
The top line energy says, when your main obstacle is a cunning adversary, forceful removal of that person may be the only option. When such
Mm.
drastic measures are called for, quick, precise action is necessary. As the element of surprise may be critical, discuss your plans only with those who have real need to know. The wise and contented human has everything they need to accomplish the task of letting go, whether it applies to a bad habit or situation or anything that requires immediate removal to ensure success.
Okay. So we have to be also kind of aggressively removing things in order to see our opportunities. is
Yeah.
what I'm getting.
Yes. It's hard. You know what? Like, yeah. If it's something that's harmful, you're gonna have to be
Hmm.
swift about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Harmful. Yeah.
right, right. Otherwise, you can just do the Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I left my medicine in the car.
Yeah. Don't do
Yeah,
the Italian goodbye. That takes like an hour.
right. Yeah.
That's funny.
Let's talk about centering in truth from our perspectives, because that's hopefully going to shed some light on the best way to maximize these opportunities while discerning which ones are in alignment with our personal paths and higher
Mhm.
selves. It's near the end, right? It's near the end
Right.
of
Of the whole
centering in
eating.
truth. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
getting there. Centering in truth involves becoming conscious of the relationship between your heart and the circumstances of your life. And this requires connecting with the fundamental wisdom that is within you. Self-knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
Girl, you called
Yeah.
it.
I did. I knew it was
You
going to tie
did.
in
You
there
nailed it.
somehow.
Within other people and within all of nature. Truth becomes power when you let go of prejudice and make yourself receptive to the world as it really is. And this kind of inner transformation can produce a remarkably influential person. But it is difficult to achieve in the distracting modern world of false messages and fake friendships. And it is achieved only by those who cultivate a genuine openness to the way things are and possess a willingness to see into the heart of things rather than to merely looking at appearances, centered in truth. So
Hmm.
it's saying that all those things add up to ways that we can maximize these opportunities. Let's listen to yours because mine's a
Yeah.
little
Mine is
long.
an
Mine's
inner
wordy.
truth. Yeah. Mine's
Okay.
pretty wordy too, but I'll
Yeah.
paraphrase. But it is inner truth. Um, and let's see here. Truth is not found by adopting certain beliefs or by social conditioning. It is the silent voice of the heart that responds to what is with detached clarity, untainted by emotionalism that is always available but very often ignored. So, in order to maximize these opportunities so we can discern like which ones are really for us, surprise, we have to listen to our inner voice. We have to be silent, meditate, be still so we can actually hear it. That's why this um, inner truth is often ignored because we don't take the time to slow down and hear it.
Yeah.
So it is experienced as intuitive knowing that sees through the problems, blocks, and barriers conjured up by becoming overly fixated on achieving and attaining. That's so funny. It says that because I was just complaining to Mark, like, I am so busy and it's my own damn fault. I don't know why I can't stop doing things. Like I'm not even, it's
Yeah.
not like people asking me to do things, although they do, but like for me, I just have all this stuff I want to do. Like I want to do it,
Want to
but
be
then
involved in everything.
I'm so busy. I'm even just talking about stuff around my house, like all my
Yeah.
stuff I have going on, like my gardens, I've got some house projects, the new house, all that stuff. And so like how I gotta work on that. I can't be so fixated on achieving. Anyway, it needs support or approval. Whenever we are humble enough to respect the integrity of the inner voice and heed its guidance, the effect is a transformative one. So it says also remembering that your perceptions and interpretations are colored by what state of mind or colored by your state of mind, not, wait a minute. Remembering that your perceptions and interpretations are colored by your state of mind not only sheds a different light on what you call reality, but will assist you in taking greater responsibility for your thoughts and actions. And like we already talked, again, we're still in this self knowledge and wisdom category, right? So like we've got to remember like if you're tired or you're hungry or you're sad because you're grieving for some reason or you're upset because you just got home and you had to drive in traffic or whatever your state of mind is, that's going to color how you see whatever opportunities are coming in.
Yes.
So
Wait,
again,
do you even remember what you said? That was amazing.
no, not really, but what we have to remember is like, I think we talked about this a
Yeah.
time or two ago about the most important thing is to make sure that your alignment is solid, that you are able to hear your inner voice and that you are taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, so that it's kind of like that whole thing about the airplane. Put your mask on first before you help
Yeah,
anyone else, even your own
yeah,
kid, right? It's kind of
yeah.
like that. In order to be in the world and be attractive to opportunities that are for you, you have to take care of your inner landscape first before you can see anything positive on the outer landscape.
I love that analogy all the time because as we're talking about higher self and then talking about airplanes and
Yeah.
atmosphere and new
Yeah.
heights and that type of thing, that's always a good
Here's a really
analogy.
good line to remember.
Yes.
The experience of inner truth ultimately is in your attitude.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this too, is, we're not going to become our best selves if we're continuing to lament in the everything that we've,
Oil,
yes,
the
looking like
trouble.
you said it in the pre-chat too, like just looking back all the time
Right.
or ruminating in it. I think we had to do some of that work perhaps in cancer season, but now we're
I think we
like,
did.
boo.
Yeah. You know, this interpretation has some really good things. It says the experience of your inner truth ultimately is in your attitude. It is not a point of debate, but a deep knowing that is part of your fundament. It is a if it is a source of doubt, you have missed it entirely. And I wonder, there's probably a lot of people out there that don't know what hearing your inner truth, your inner voice speak feels like. Because it is a real sense of like, okay, knowing. I don't gotta look anything up. I'm not gonna verify
Yeah.
any like
Yeah.
it's a knowing, right? And
Right. Right.
usually what will happen is something will come along in the next several hours or days and will prove to you that what you know is true, is right.
Mhm,
Like it'll
mhm.
show you, oh yeah, you were right to believe that. But if you don't practice listening to your inner self, to your higher wisdom, your highest wisdom, you won't know what it sounds like. It'll be like listening to someone speak Russian and you speak Spanish. You won't understand it.
Yeah.
It won't resonate. So
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that you're saying, and I know you probably don't remember anything that you say sometimes until you listen to the episode.
it's true.
But it needs to be really true it needs to feel really true for it to be something that you can integrate and become.
But don't you think that's one of the biggest holdbacks that a lot of people have is they don't
Yeah.
feel. We don't
Yeah.
allow ourselves to feel. Like I've always just been a feeler. Like that's how I
Mhm.
always decorate my houses. What do I want this room? I start with like, what do I want it to feel like? Or what do I
Feel
want
like,
people to
yeah.
feel? And then it comes about. But
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
people say, I like purple and I want it to be purple. And they don't
Yeah.
think about how it's going to feel, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. I think you're right. I think that's a good place to look at this from. I mean, if we what we believe and how we work with feng shui is a way to help support us and where we are in our lives. And that's so much a deeper, um,
Right.
intentional way of creating your spaces, than I want Fancy Pants designer to create this look that I saw on Instagram for me, and then have them come do it, and then you're sad because it
Well,
doesn't
and
feel
there's
like you.
right. And there's nothing wrong with seeing a design that you freaking love
Yeah, if it
and
lights you up, like in a true
wanting
way.
to make some kind of like facsimile of that in your home.
Yes.
But if you're right, if you see something and then you put it in your house, 9 times out of 10 is not going to jive with you. You're going to be like, that
Yeah.
looked way better in the store. Or, that looked way better in the magazine.
It
But if you
looks
take
so
that,
much better when someone photographs it with pretty lights and
yes,
filters.
with perfect situations there. But yeah, whereas if you see something you really like and you're like, oh, I want to do something like that in my house, let's see how I can tweak it to make it mine. That's
Hmm.
totally different. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I love that. This was a good one. I'm glad we did this. I needed something like a little bit lighter. I think all in all, if I like the lengthy description on the other end of this, the centering in truth, I think it needs to be wordy because it's like a really esoteric, like it's hard to hold.
Centering in truth is pretty esoteric. It's pretty
Mhm.
heavy too. Like
Yeah.
it sounds so easy, but really, especially in the Western world, it's so hard to do because you can't know your inner truth.
Hmm.
If the powers that be had their way, no one would ever know their inner truth. We would just be busy all the time.
Well, we are busy all the time, and that's
We'd be
why.
busier. We'd be even
Yes.
busier. Yeah.
Yeah, we really would. I like the part that I didn't talk about or you didn't talk about is that when you really are in your truth and sitting in your truth, is that that's an effortless influence. And you can even influence difficult people in that
Mhm.
position. But we talk about that a lot with, the buzzwords of authenticity and really centering in that, which I think is the Gua One area, which is life journey so that we really did hit all of those
All
Gua,
three of them.
yeah, in this. So you're psychic
Hmm.
also.
I don't know about that, but I do know my bagua. So
Yeah, you were feeling it right.
I was feeling it right. One other thing that sometimes this book just hits me right between the eyes when it says these things. It says,
Hmm.
this state of mind can be a shifting and transitory thing. And when it is, that's how you know it's not the truth.
Hmm.
Truth is eternal and unchanging. It never grows old. It transcends limitations of time and space. And the preoccupations and worries of the ordinary mind are nearly always in support of the ego and its illusions.
Hmm.
So when we have a divided mind, that's how we know we're not centering in truth.
Yeah.
So when I go to the restaurant next time and I can't decide what the hell I want to eat, I'm going to know I'm not centering in my truth because I can't even decide what I want to eat. Like, I think you can
Yeah.
apply it to everything, and it drives my husband crazy. Like, literally, I have a problem. So
Having. What are you having to eat? Maybe that sounds good.
I know. Yeah, I always want to make sure he gets something I do like so I can have a bite or two. And
Variety.
I
Yeah.
share mine. I share mine too, but that
Yes.
gives me a little bit of solace knowing that what I order is not the only thing I have to eat.
Right. You have a backup
Yeah.
plan. Mhm.
Yeah. So remember, if your mind is busy, split, divided, and like you can't make a decision, it's because you're not centering in your truth. That's harsh.
Yeah.
Because my
And
mind's like that all the time.
yeah, yes, mine is like that all the time too. I think also like alluding to having the good, helpful people around us. If we don't know what we're looking for or what we really need because we can't center in our truth, then we can rely on them to order something that we can share.
Right.
Metaphorically,
But it's
metaphorically
important to have
speaking.
really good people around you.
Yeah, exactly. So that ended up being fun and also meaningful, but
Yeah,
we knew that we would have to be still at some point in this. But that makes sense because the distractions do take you away from truth.
it does make sense.
Um,
It makes perfect sense, really, especially when you remember that it says when your mind is shifting and transitory, that's how you know you're not in truth. Like, I could probably pay attention all day long to my mind, like how it's working, and there might be 50 times that I'm not centering in truth, at least in a day. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
and it's always little things too. I don't know why. But it's always just little things.
I think in light, I was just looking through our transcript from today, and what really jumps out, especially since we've been talking a lot about, the storms that you guys had and the trees, the cleanup, that type of thing, but like also the debris that
Mhm.
happens in our homes that trip us up from being able to see our opportunities. But it all comes back to this inner truth. So there was a line somewhere that we said in our transcript that was after the storm, opportunities are revealed, clear
Mhm.
the debris away, be still to hear your inner truth, and stay open to unfamiliar but aligned paths.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, that's a key distinction right there. Unfamiliar but aligned.
Mhm.
Like, there's a
It's
difference between being
it's kind of
unfamiliar
like a
and
visitor or like a wanderer if they come to your door and it might be someone holding like a check, but they look like a homeless person. So you're not
aligned. Hmm.
sure, like, or
Right,
like it's not what you were expecting, but I don't know
right. But that would
when
be in
that would
alignment
happen.
with me if someone showed up with a check.
You're like, come on in, friends. Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love this reading.
it was
I think
good.
it was.
Well,
I'm going to
thank
try to see
you.
more opportunities though.
Yeah. Any other tips coming to mind for you? I mean, obviously, we talked about zhuzhing up our entryways and our
Hmm.
windows, especially at the front of our house, um,
Hmm.
clearing away the debris. Helpful people tips, I think, is remove clutter from that area, right? Like debris, trash,
Hmm.
things that can be thrown away.
Definitely always declutter everything all
Yeah,
the time.
definitely declutter. That's hard to do. Um, I
But
found with having the kids around for summer, like
oh
in the
God,
house, they
yeah,
collect like packaging and stuff. And I'm like,
yes,
okay, now they're not here. I'm going to throw away the packaging.
yes. So
Yeah.
weird. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, for helpful people, just to give a couple tips, that's like a metal area. So anything
Mhm.
shiny and metally in that area would be good. And it doesn't matter. Like people always go, oh, that's my garage or that's my laundry room. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
what room it is. It doesn't have to be a freaking, like my garage is my knowledge and spirituality area. It's a
Yeah. Didn't
garage.
you paint your door? You painted your door cute in your garage.
I did. Well, I actually had some shelving, like some closed shelving installed last year, but I painted the whole garage and then I painted the
Mhm.
door and I put a wreath on the door that I put some little battery fairy lights in and it comes on every day at like 6 o'clock and stays on
Oh,
for
so
several hours.
cute.
Because that just so everybody knows, like the supporting element for that area that I'm talking about, the knowledge area is fire. Earth is the first one and
Hmm.
fire is a supporting element. And so that's why I thought the wreath with the little lights on it would be cute in there at nighttime when there's no
Yeah,
lights on.
I love that.
Yeah. We keep our garage way cleaner now too, now that I actually made it nice. So
Yeah, it sounds really cute.
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's so many little things you can do, but really the big one is just keeping everything decluttered
Yes. Super
and
hard to do.
clean, windows clean, things picked up. I
Little
would
things
consider
here and
like, yeah, yeah.
there.
And
Like I always forget to wipe down my door, and I just did that.
yes.
Especially because we've been having a lot of wind and rain hitting the door.
Hmm.
So it's like when I, just wiped it down with a paper towel and washed it, I was like, wow, I can't believe how
Wow.
much better that is. I didn't
Today,
even know.
I know. I left my front door now. Well, today I also cleaned off my front door and porch because I had to clean up some plants that got blown over and had dirt everywhere.
Oh,
But
yeah.
now it's looks great. And I wiped down my door and pulled all the tree branches out of my wreath and
Yeah, I'm sorry about the trees and the tree branches. Like, hopefully,
Mhm.
some of it can be firewood or whatever, or mulch.
Someday it will be.
Someone will get some mulch out of it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was good. Well, I'm glad we got to do this. It was perfect timing too.
It really was. The whole thunderstorm thing. That's
Yes,
crazy.
right.
That's funny.
It is.
Because I don't know when
Uh-huh.
people will be listening to this, but yesterday in Columbus, Ohio, we had widespread horrible thunderstorms, derechos, and tornadoes. And there are buildings that are gone, and cars that were flipped, and trees that are gone, and greenhouses and houses. There's everything's just a mess. So for
Oh,
you to pull a card all about thunderstorms and debris is pretty damn funny.
no.
That's the I Ching saying, don't take this
That's the
too
I Ching for
seriously.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, just go clean up and then sit down and meditate on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I like it when I said I was at a loss for words and it says you don't need words.
Yeah, Yeah,
Like,
we don't,
okay.
there's no need for words right now.
Oh,
Well, thank you for
that doesn't
doing
make a
this.
good podcast. Thank
I know.
you.
I mean, I know we're just really doing this for ourselves, right?
Yeah, we'll have to listen to this later for ourselves to remember
Yeah.
because we black out when we're intuiting.
I don't remember. But well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And listeners, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed us, if you enjoyed this, let us know. You can respond to us in YouTube, in the comments, find us on Spotify and all the major directories. And yeah, and if you want to be a guest with us and mash up with whatever specialty you have or your own cards, or we would love to have you. And you don't need to be an expert because, it's, the more the merrier and it's fun.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, bye, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for joining us on I Ching Mashup with Michele and Lisa. If today's conversation sparked something in you, sit with it, journal on it, or pull your own hexagram and see what answers arise. Until next time, keep listening for the wisdom beneath the noise. We're Michele and Lisa, and we'll see you in the next mashup.